Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we will talk about our last Maqam, our last tetrapentachord. It's Nisabur. And this one is actually quite related also to Sabah, which we talked before, I showed you before. And by the way, there is also a PDF down in the description below, which you should download as a reference. It's all like the notation of Nisabur. It's not very much on the page, but of course it also supports this channel, so it would be a cool thing to do. Thank you. All right, so Sabah, we had like this this kind of a pendulum thing, right? Between when we had E Sabah, between E and the minor third G. So it was always like also showing the G, in this case like it was Sirgili Hijaz on G, and then a bit like surprisingly, always maybe a little bit surprisingly resolving back to E, more this Ushak color. Of course, like Sabah is different than Ushak, but this kind of intonation of this lowered major second and the minor third, and also Jeden, a whole step lower, so like this Ushak Cheshni, you can also say in a way. And that is quite similar to Nisabur, because you there when we start on E, on E, we also have this Usha color. And then on G, we have our our güçlü, and that is really like a very strong güçlü here. This is really like showing G, very much G, and in this case it's just a G Buselik color. So what we have is like a Buselik pentachord. And a Kurdi tetrachord. So Phrygian tetrachord from D. So we can say, okay, that's just G minor Aeolian, but also in that scale, of course, we have this Jeden of G, yeah, of this güçlü, and this is F sharp, and it it's a little bit, I think this F sharp is a little bit higher when you think really as a Jeden to G, as a leading tone to G, but it's a little lower than the. It was not much lower. A little bit lower than the 12th tone equal temperament F sharp, but it's higher than if you really think Nisabur, this kind of a Usha color. But, oops. So what you have, this kind of thing, what's quite common, also it's in European classical music very common. You have the minor, the Aeolian natural minor, but you have also the leading tone, the major seventh of that, which kind of creates also this feeling of harmonic minor. But you can just say, okay, if I go down in a way. I mean, it's a little bit not this going down, going up. It's the F more leads more down to the D, whereas the F sharp leads up to the G. So the tendencies are there. So you can also. Oops, sorry, that was a major third there. That we don't want. Can very very quick you can change between these two notes when you know how to approach. I mean how to how to go on with these notes. So where are they going? Yeah, what other notes you are approaching? Where are you moving to? Yeah, F sharp and F. So okay, but that's not really here the issue. When I first learned this Nisabur pentachord, and there's only a pentachord, of course, because the tetrachord would be just ushak, and the pentachord is very strange. Yeah? The pentachord is, okay, I've E Nisabur, and I have this ushak kind of a thing, and then this diminished fifth there. And it's a little bit how we can compare that actually with our like scales in Western music. It's a little bit like this typical also in jazz use scale is Locrian with an with a major second. Locrian has actually a minor second, but in this case it has a major second, but it's a lowered major second, so it's actually something in between. So that's cool to have something in between of Locrian and Locrian 9 or Locrian natural 9. But the thing is here, this B flat is really used in the context of G minor. So either G minor or A Kurdi or B flat major, Charga. Yeah, and then you a bit surprisingly you go down to this E as a real Carrar root. It's a bit strange, I think. All right. Yerinde is B, so originally its location of this tetrapentachord in Maqam is B. Yeah. What else? I mean, I'm not really a. You will notice that I'm not really an expert in Nisabur. For me, this is still a little bit strange. Although, I mean, it's not that strange that I do not understand anything about that or something like that. It's just, in a way, I'm not very much satisfied when I reach the Carrar, when I reach my E. That it's completely different in Sabah. Yeah, that's really different. There I really feel nice, beautiful to land on this Carrar. But here it's a bit strange. I mean, as far as I understood, it's also really more about also showing this G minor thing, the G minor color, and this kind of an A Kurdi thing. Maybe I have to get a little bit more into that to learn more. I have to admit that I was not very busy with Nisabur, but now there is something beautiful. Also, what I just noticed also is that you have this kind of a melodic minor color here with this major sixth when you sing G minor, right? So. Yeah, but now I'm really feeling locked into G. Now I'm really on G. Yeah, I have to show my ushak kind of movements, Chechny or tetrachord, like melodic formulas. Let's try this more rough and see what happens actually. So. I don't know. I think it was I had already here a kind of a better version of that. But that's actually the thing. Maybe it's also good that I'm showing you a little bit how I'm searching around. The secret, you can say, or the important thing here is how the connections are made. Yeah, it's and that's very important in the Turkish Maqam music. Actually, that's also very important in Indian raga music when you deal with very kind of a strange scales. When you just play them up and down, yeah, or just when you back to the Turkish Maqam music, when you just play these tetrachords and then you go to the next. Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes you understand it. It is really straightforward. But sometimes I think when you did not really have a good example, a musical example where you really hear, oh, that's beautiful, and there are great examples for all these different ones. Also for Nisabur, I'm sure that there is a very beautiful example which I not yet have heard. So that's a pity. But you need that to really get this color and to really understand how these how this change between G minor and E ushak kind of E Nisabur takes place, and it really also, I mean, I think you really have to be really deep into that, to really understand what notes are important, or which notes you really show to hint at I mean, to open these doors to the next plateau, to the next tetra or pentachord. I think that was quite nice now, but yeah, that's just me trying and trying out different things and what seems to work, how it could be. Of course, it would be great to have some input, like a very good example of Turkish classical music where it's really where you really get this color, this change, and how it's done and everything. Okay, so the notes are one thing, and to organize notes into scales or scale excerpts is one thing, but to how to make music with that, it's a very different thing, and this also differs quite a lot in the different cultures, because all cultures have their own kind of sound aesthetic also, and yeah. But on the other hand, it's also, as I always say here, it's also extremely connected. Once you understand something, you understand something else really good in a way. Then very often you can see the similarities. But when it's like when you do not have any idea about something, then of course it's very distant. It's very strange. All right, so that's it for this series, for this kind of a course, and. Although maybe like Nisabur and maybe also another Maqam was not really, maybe not like that you I mean I have to really admit in a way that I'm also in a way I'm some stuff I'm showing here is really also at the kind of edge where I am just myself with my own search development journey, and I could sit down now for maybe 1 hour, and I think I would just give you a better lesson on Nisabur. But it's, I mean, then I could sit one more year, and then I would really give you a very cool Nisabur, and then I could sit here for 10 years, and this would be like a real deep and beautiful Nisabur, you know. But it's not only Nisabur, of course. There is much more, and what the good thing now, what we have now here on Guitar Academia, we have a lesson on all different possible, like these 14 different possible tetra pentachords, and its, so to speak, extensions to a scale, or its behavior in music. Yeah, we had this example, and I like to repeat it because this was actually, I think this was a good example which just came to my mind in one lesson. It's like a fish in a fishbowl, you know, like in the water. You in a way what we are dealing, we are not really dealing with the whole ocean, you know. I mean, it's just we look at that more in a narrow perspective, or like in a smaller way than a Turkish classical musician would see that. He would or he or she would really be in that thing and knows and hears all these relationships between all these tetra and pentachords. We, in a way, we have a kind of a bowl with water, glass thing, and we have a fish. And the fish is our tetra or pentachord. And we first we had it just lying on the plate, and it was still living, but it was lying there, and we could already see some things what the fish is. Yeah, so the color, the shape, and that kind of a thing. So that is the tetra or pentachord. Yeah, but then we had to put that into the water to see it swim, just in this little ball, not yet in this whole ocean, just little, to see what is this fish doing. Yeah, what is this? Where does it want to go? And so we get a little bit, I mean, a much better impression about the musical context. Yeah, so how this tetrapentachord is actually behaving, and to form like a whole scale, to see more the thing what it's like a seed, you know, like also a tetrapentachord is like a seed, and you have to get a little make a little thing happen that it actually starts to be that, like a green thing is coming out, and you understand, oh, okay, that's a plant, and of course the more the more it grows, that the more you see all these details and things. It will be getting more and more complex. And that's also maybe a good metaphor for learning and getting deeper into something. Yeah, but at a certain point, at least you see this kind of a structure of a tree, and then in a way, going further is important, of course, when you really want to do that. But for our purposes, it's a kind of sufficient. And what we have now actually is really like a lesson on all of these maqams. Yeah, all these maqams which share the same name with a tetra and pentachord. So we looked at all those, and these really what we talked about, that it's like a complete set of everything what can happen in Turkish classical music. Actually, it's just that when you really go into Turkish classical music, that the art is how you deal with all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not comparable with that, but in a way it's also, you can also say, yeah, I show you the 12 notes, that's all you need. Yeah, but then you say, okay, well, what to do with that? And then I show you a little bit more. I show you can build these scales, and you can build these chords, and this is like a tonality you have, and you relate everything to, and that already gives you a lot of stuff, and you can make up a lot of stuff. But then, of course, to really go into that and be really like more complex, more interesting, and things that of course takes much more, and like this needs really the players, like this needs a great musician also to do that, and who is really into that, and knows how to proceed from one maqam, tetra, pentachord, cheshni, yeah, from one color to the next. How to go there. That's it actually. That's, of course, like technique and everything is there in all these different cultures, and that's nothing special in a way for us. I mean, it's of course there are certain kinds of ornaments and everything. That's something, it's technical stuff. You can learn that, you know. But to really understand these progressions of the different plateaus in a maqam, how they progress, and that also it's not like from one to the next and to the next, but it's really about then the whole picture at the end. You know, you went through different places, but what is the whole picture then? It's getting really complex, actually. So, but that's not our purpose. It could be, I mean, these lessons here could be a start to go into that. It could be like also a nice foundation, actually, because you learned a lot here. You learned about this tonal system and really into detail, into depth, and also about this different tetrapentachords and these maqams. You really learned, I mean, a lot here. And this is really the foundation where you can now actually start to really get into this Turkish classical music. It could be like a very good foundation for that, what you have here. But on this channel we will go into some colors a bit more, of course, but that's not our main our main thing here. As you might already know. All right, I hope you learned something. I hope this is actually inspiring and not just exotic talk here. And I would be really happy if that makes you also like it inspires you to learn about these microtones and these different tetrapentachords and so on. That's it for this lesson. Please subscribe to my channel if you didn't do that already, and also click the bell button to get notifications, because every week a new video will be released here. And also you can donate to support my work here on this channel. Just follow the link down in the description below to my website, hoophildenbrand.com, the Guitar Academia page there. There you find a button where you can donate. So I would be really happy if you value this stuff, what you get here, and you want to support my work here, would be really great. I would really appreciate that. Okay, thanks for watching and stay tuned. My name is Hoop Hildenbrand.